Hi everyone, this is Chakrit. This is Human Resource Machine. I'm going to be talking about my solutions to Year 32 inventory report. This first solution is the one I think a lot of people will stumble on their first go around on this. So this is O of n k. What this does is it loops through the entire list, has a running count comparing against the input one at a time. So it's going to loop through and basically store that character as input and compare it against every character. If they're 0, when you subtract those off, then you bump the count up, and then you return that count once you reach this null termination. So this will beat the size optimization challenge of 16 commands. I think this is kind of the intended solution for the size optimization challenge as well. So nothing too crazy here, but then I realized for the speed challenge, you won't be able to do both at the same time. Getting any lower with that few commands is just, I don't see a way to do it, but what you can do is use these extra memory slots and actually compute a hash map on the count of each character. So here's going to be that solution. And so basically this is O of n plus k, which is basically k again is the size of the input, n is the size of this list. And what we'll do is we'll loop through the list once and calculate the counts of A, B, and C, and then we get X for free at the end. So let's go ahead and see what that looks like. We're going to populate all of these with zeros. And what ends up happening is we're going to compare every letter against the letter A, which I've just chosen this 1 in 12 because it's very central. And basically, when you subtract them, you get a number. If that number is 0, then we know that the thing that we were looking at was an A. I think we're looking at index 4 right now. So C minus A is 2. It's not 1. So we know it wasn't an A. We bump it down. That's not 0, so we know it's not a B. Bump down again. Now it's a 0, so we know that that's a C. And so we'll bump the C count. And then we'll go on to the next letter. Now, if you have an X, then what you'll do is you'll see that that's not 0. You'll bump it down. That's not 0. You bump it down again. That's not 0, so we do nothing. We just increase this index, and we're using this as the index for now. And what'll happen is once we loop through the entire list, that index is actually equal to the length of the list. So what'll end up happening, and let's speed up a little bit more. All right, so now we're at x equals 14, right? And so this is the length of the list, and if we subtract off A, B, and C, we will actually get the count of x's. And then what we can do now is we can just loop through our inputs, use that same logic to check what character we're looking at, and then just look up the precise count from our hash map that we've stored down here in this bottom row. Again, same logic to look up what character we're looking at, and then just output those counts. Fairly straightforward. I thought this was a really interesting solution. Obviously, the number of commands is going to be way higher now that we're trying to check for 3 different values every time that we iterate on an item on the list, but the number of commands has dropped way down from 435 down to 201. So hopefully this helps you out in finding your solution. I wonder if you can get this lower, but it's going to be a lot tougher. And then same on this size challenge. I think maybe you could save 1 command. I don't imagine going much further than that, but there you go. Thanks for watching.